All right, gentlemen, could you tell us a little bit more about the origin of the Battle of Hastings?
The original Battle of Hastings was an actual battle that took place 900, just there on a hill, like 954 years ago, or 3 years ago. And this whole town was based on that battle, basically. It was like the French invaded the UK. But yeah, so it was like an obvious name for our contest. And when we got the Source Park in, 2013, I mean, our whole motivation to get the Source Park when we first saw the building was to put an event on. And then calling it the Battle of Hastings was just obvious. Yeah.
How has the event evolved over the years?
I don't know. Like when we first did it, it was we didn't know what was going to happen. Obviously, it was quite nervous. We decided we'd put on a big event, and it went quite well. And then I think it's just sort of got bigger and better. And we have Nora Cup here, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. And it's just like the whole industry comes and all the best riders, and the vibe around it is just really nice. Everyone's just having a good time. So it's like it's not one of those sort of comps with rubbish security and sort of a bit tight. It's a bit loose and everyone's just having sort of a good time.
I mean, I think the vibe hasn't really changed. From year one, we had kind of big sponsors, like outside sponsorship to make it good. We always wanted that. We needed that to make it happen. But it was the vibe, it was always going to be a free bar for 5 days, like open practice for all day, every day. Like, so the vibe is still the same. It's just got more, just bigger and better, I guess.
I think the bar bill's a lot less this year now that Ben Lewis isn't here.
There's a lot of Australians. Cancels that out.
Did you guys ever think the event would be as big as it is today?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like the building and as soon as the first event happened and you could hear the noise and the atmosphere, I think we knew it was something special. Like you didn't know that was going to happen until the first year, when you just felt that atmosphere and everyone was stoked and the riders are having a great time. And like from that point, we knew it was like a special event, but I don't think we ever thought it would become like the event that the whole industry hangs out at and Nora Cup and the whole, we didn't kind of ever think it would be kind of the center of what it's become. I think that you can't predict that stuff.
But like, you know, also the ingredients are here. There's like little things, like it's right in town. You don't have to get a shuttle bus from your hotel that's way out to some conference center or a warehouse somewhere. It's right in town. It's on the beach. Like it was just sort of made to be a good time. Really.
And the riders are just hanging out. Like I think sometimes you go to a contest and the riders are in a rider area, the crowd's over there, and it's not like that here. Like if you come and hang out for the weekend, you hang out with the riders. Everyone's in the same area doing the same stuff. It's like I don't know, you feel part of it. Yeah.
Why do you guys feel that core events like Battle of Hastings are important to BMX?
Man, that's kind of what BMX is, isn't it? Like we grew up kind of going to core events, I guess. Like we were lucky that there was like backyard jams here, and then we grew up at a lot of races which also had dirt contests, and I don't know, like I think we got hooked on it because you get to hang out at contests. It's fun. I don't know, it just brings people together, I guess. Otherwise you feel part of a BMX community via your phone or via your local scene. And this is, I don't know, it mixes things up. I think it's, I don't know, there's nothing cooler than hanging out with other BMXers from around the world, I think.
I mean, I don't want to coin a cliche, but it is just BMXers doing a BMX event. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's like, we get it. So it's just, you know what I mean? It's just easier.
Yeah, there's no one making any decisions here. Like we literally just making it up as we go along, pretty much.
This event has a very non-traditional team-based format. Who created that format and why did you choose to go that route?
So it was a few of us. We sat down, and Akeem probably gets a lot of credit for this. And us too. And we just wanted like a team event where we could have an element of street riders as well. So riders that wouldn't necessarily do well in a contest, especially one that had a big bowl in it, and it would be nice to include them. So we have the video format also, and the concept just sort of evolved into being able to have different riders who would be, you know, someone's favorite street rider that could also score points for a team that would then go and score more in a bowl. So it's like trying to include all sort of aspects in BMX into one sort of team event. And that's how it sort of progressed into what it is. But I think it's a little bit more interesting, I think, for people to sort of see where the points came from. It's not just, you know, and the bowl, our setup's not like, oh, you did the most backflips, you win. I mean, it's like, it's not really that setup. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we wanted an event that was park and street, which was a BMX event rather than something specific. We don't have a jump box, so it's Akeem come up with the idea for the team event, and I think the best thing that we didn't really think about it at the time, but I don't know, we're not qualified, or we shouldn't be in a position of power to choose who's coming. I mean, we didn't want it to be like a simple session with 150 people. We wanted it to be like tight enough. And the great thing about the team event is we just pick the captains and then they pick riders. So we end up with riders we don't know, like up and coming dudes or riders that we wouldn't even think about. I mean, it's kind of like democracy. It takes the power out of our hands.
I think it is a definite thing that the point to get across is that we are not picking the teams. We pick the captains and then it's completely their choice up for who they pick. We have literally nothing to do with it. They just email us back or they phone us back and they say, or they don't usually, and go, here's my 3 guys, here's our team of 4. And like we have literally no control over it, which is really nice. So like, you know, there's no sponsors getting involved, there's no sort of pulling of the strings. It's literally completely down to one guy to pick their team.
And like the first year, I think, like, I remember seeing the rider list come in and there's like Boyd Hilda and Corey Walsh. And at the time, I don't think we'd heard of them. We didn't know who they were. And they're 2 of the best dudes and they've been here every year since. And then like last year, there's Mad Mike who killed it. And like, he would never normally ride a contest. And yeah, like I don't know, it makes it interesting, I think.
How do you guys pick the captains?
Well, we kind of sit around at a table, like us 2, Akeem and Tom Creasy. We normally meet within a few weeks of the last event. And we kind of...
So like these years, there's always like, you know, that everyone from the winning team last year will now be a captain. So that takes out 4, you know, and then there's like the 6 to fill in. And, you know, we'd look at it and be like, oh, this guy, we like this guy's sick, we'll get him in. He hasn't done it yet, or
yeah, we've never picked the same captain again.
And we've always tried to keep it, you know, slightly different.
We have a little bit of a balance between street and park and like not all Euro riders or US riders. There's a little bit of that thinking. It's pretty much just who we like.
We just try and balance it out, but essentially it comes down to who we like. Like you know what I mean? And like, or I suppose who we like, or who's sort of influential, and who is killing it, and who should be a captain, who deserves to be a captain. It's, you know, it's like it's.
And just stuff comes up.
It's
like,
pretty loose, isn't it?
Yeah, like Chase Hawk sent us a video one year, and he's like, "Guys, please make us a captain." And we're like, "Yeah, like can't say no to that." And then last year, Sergio took himself out on the first day, and he was in hospital for the whole contest. So we went and visited him. Like everyone visited him most days, and it was like. He was pretty down in hospital for 4 days. I'm like, dude, come back next year as a captain. So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of organic.
So what we're saying is if we like you or you hurt yourself, you're in.
Pretty much.
There are obviously a ton of moving parts to this event, and Source BMX is obviously always growing. How do you guys manage to keep this event flourishing and keep the business advancing simultaneously?
Well, like, I think the business is, like, you know, obviously our main business is, we have a retail store, but our main business is now mail order, like e-commerce and all the logistics that entails. And that's what we do most of the time. That's what we all do. But this is the super fun part. It's way more motivating than looking at spreadsheets.
This is certainly the bit that keeps you going. You know, like working in BMX as an industry is amazing. Like you get to do all this fun stuff. You get to do comps. You get to like go on trips and do all the fun stuff. But it's still a business, you know, like a lot of the time you could be sitting in the office and you're just doing business stuff, you know, you could be selling paper or coffee to someone, you know, like some of the stuff you have to do is not specific to BMX, but the bits that are, we try and make super fun. So like the trips, like the videos we do, the competition, like, you know, we just try and keep that fun, which is great because that just keeps you going.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish we could do this pretty much all year. It would be super fun, but it's definitely intense.
What's your favorite part of the event?
Man, for me, it's when like there's this build up for weeks and weeks, and then it's on the Saturday, which is the first day, obviously, the first day of the contest, and Dale and Andy come out and they announce like the start of the event, and the crowd are just, you see people, the crowd come in, there's like 700 people, mostly with a beer in their hand, like smashing the barriers, and then, I don't know, it's got like you can feel the atmosphere in that building. It's like a tension almost. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same. For me, the best bit is the noise. Like the atmosphere in there is like, you probably can't see it on the live stream, but when you're in there, it's like, it's pretty intense. So we have this, obviously had this balcony, like this 360-degree balcony, and people like slamming the barriers, and it's really, really noisy. And I always think on a Saturday what's going on, it's just like the first time we ever walked into that building like 4 years ago when it was done. You know what I mean? It had been sat there for 20 years, all soggy and knackered. And then like you see that it just comes to life, like the whole building's just insane.
It literally makes my like
yeah,
hairs on the
it
back
is.
of your neck go.
Like, yeah, this is sick.
I remember walking around with Mark, and the building was just like literally derelict. Like we were falling through holes in the floor. Like the wood had been there for 20 years and it was rotten, and there was no lights. So we're walking around with torches, and like I remember standing there with Mark, just going, literally standing on that barrier, going, "This would make the sickest contest."
And then I fell down a hole.
Then he fell down a hole, like literally to his waist.
Do you guys plan on continuing to do this event for the foreseeable future?
Yeah. For as long as we can make it happen, for sure.
As long as it's good. We always said at the start, was just like, we're going to do this while it's good. If it gets boring or stale or old, or we can't think of any ideas, which I don't think is going to happen, but say it does, like we're done. We don't want to just keep it going for the sake of it. We're only going to do it while it's good. And yeah, I think it's still good. So
yeah, I mean, it's getting better and better every year. I mean, yeah. For as long as it's doing that, we'll
we've still got ideas. Like it's going to get better and better.
So you guys just opened a Source BMX location in the United States. Can we expect you guys bringing anything similar to the Battle of Hastings to that part of the world?
We'd love to. Yeah, we'd love to do it. I mean, it's hard. I mean, we've opened a big warehouse in Louisville, which is cool, and we have a shop there. I mean, this is kind of special, this place, because it's here permanently. I mean, the skate park's here all year round, and it's like a fluke that we found this venue. It's crazy, this weird underground perfect contest venue. So if we did it in America, which we'd love to do, it would be different because we'd have to build a course or find something. So, but yeah, we've got some ideas. We'd like to make it happen.
Yeah, I think Shihad, we are talking about it. We are thinking about it. We are on it. It's not there yet, but it's hopefully it will come together. We'll see. Like we have ideas, so we'll let you know.
Yeah, it just needs to be special like this. It needs to have that same atmosphere, the same vibe, the same, I don't know, same BMX feel to it.
Final question. For those who have never experienced this, how would you describe the vibe of the entire weekend?
Man, it's
batshit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard to describe. Like, it's just, I don't know. We've been going to contests all the time. I've grown up going to BMX contests, and it's pretty rare that you go to one that it just feels like everyone is vibing. It's like being at a concert, like Metallica come on and everyone's got the same energy towards what's happening. It's kind of like that, but towards BMX.
People don't listen to Metallica anymore.
Huh?
People don't listen to Metallica.
Yes, they do.
You need to say someone. You need to say a band that kids have heard of. Ed Sheeran. He's an act.
Yeah. Just like Ed Sheeran. Yeah, thanks to, like, it's not just us that does it. There's tons of people involved in this. There's tons of sponsors that obviously pay for it and make it happen. The riders, put themselves out. A lot of them pay for their own flights to come over, which is incredible. So yeah, it's just thanks to the whole of BMX for making it happen. It's unreal.